Hello friends! You're on the Last Days channel. Thank you so much for your engagement and support. And so, a review of events for July 27th. USA, Utah. An unusual incident occurred on a highway in the USA. A woman returning home by car from the airport at some point felt as if the road in front of her began to move. Footage cited by local media shows hundreds of thousands of amphibians blocking the highway for more than a kilometer. Local officials later explained that the footage captured newborn frogs hatching near the dry Rush Lake. According to experts, the amphibians decided they should leave their area and emigrate to the nearby hills. Their number authorities estimated at several hundred thousand. Eyewitnesses said that most of the animals were soon crushed by cars passing along the highway. An unusual case occurred in the city of Stockton, located in the state of Utah. Italy. European records for the size of hailstones were broken in the village of Tiso near the town of Pordenone in Italy on July 24th. The hailstones were about 19 centimeters long and more than 14 centimeters wide, a record size for the continent, the European Rainfall Database confirmed. According to social media, car and house windows were damaged by the hailstones on the day of the incident, and solar panels in some homes were punctured through. The roofs of buildings were damaged, but no human casualties were reported. The heat wave has been intense in southern Europe recently, with temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius in some Italian cities. Specialists attribute what is happening to a heat explosion in sugar. Mexico. A large meteorite flew over Mexico last night. In Mexico, residents of Colima, Michoacán and Jalisco reported on social media the passage of a huge luminous object that was already entering the Earth's atmosphere. Photos and videos of the meteorite that turned night into day are being circulated. It is reported about a possible collision of the meteorite between the states of Michoacán and Colima. As it flew by, the meteorite lit up the night sky and literally illuminated cities like the sun. Moscow. Heavy rain and wind have hit Moscow and the Moscow region. Highways and yards are waterlogged, thunder and lightning are overwhelming. The Moscow capital and its suburbs faced heavy rain and hurricane-force winds, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. In some neighborhoods, roads turned into unexpected rivers and yards were flooded with water. Thunderstorms and bright lightning bolts forced residents to take shelter. The Vegas shopping center was also affected by the heavy rains, with the flood entering its spacious premises. Eyewitnesses shared horrifying footage showing flooded floors and walls forming puddles. Experts warn that tropical downpours will continue throughout the week in central Russia. This is due to the exit of the severe Balkan cyclone, which brought sea moisture and heat, ideal conditions for the formation of thunderstorm clouds. The total amount of precipitation in Moscow exceeded 40% of the monthly norm, while in the Moscow region the excess amounted to almost 50%. Thus, the old record of 1894 was broken, and the weather continues to demonstrate its capriciousness, forcing citizens to adapt to natural cataclysms.
Такой сегодня ливень. Я попала под самый дождь, даже зонтик не спас.
Netherlands. On the Dutch island of Eemland in the North Sea there was a fire on a cargo ship carrying about 3,000 new electric cars. According to preliminary reports, the cause of the fire was the ignition of one of the electric cars. One person died and 22 others were injured. The Panamanian-flagged Fremantle highway vessel left the port of Bremerhaven and was bound for Egypt's Port Said. The fire started when the vessel was about 30 kilometers north of Ameland Island. The fire spread rapidly. The tugboats called to the scene drove the vessel away from the busy shipping lane. The operation to extinguish the fire on the dry cargo ship is underway with the involvement of several rescue and towing vessels. Specialists fear that the fire will burn for at least a few more days. At the moment Fremantle Highway is anchored, the Dutch Coast Guard believes that soon the ship will start to lurch and then sink. Vietnam. A day earlier, a water tornado hundreds of meters high rising over the sea was captured on video near Cat Ba Island in Hai Phong City. According to Nguyen Van Angeep, chairman of the Squantum People's Committee, the waterspout appeared at around 7 a.m. and stayed over the northern part of the Vietnamese Sea in Cat Hai District's Squantum Commune for 3 to 4 minutes before disappearing. He added that as the spout was far from the shore of the port city, it did not cause any damage. 2 years earlier, a large waterspout also appeared near Bac Dang Bridge in Hai Phong before moving to the neighboring city of Quang Yen, also part of Quang Ninh province. In 2011, a water outburst was observed in Tai Nguyen district for 10 minutes, killing 2 people. New Zealand. New Zealand finally got its long-awaited batch of fresh snow over a meter. A classic cold front with wind, rain and snow is swept across the North and South Islands. Mount Hutt Ski Resort is now immersed in a whiteout. The heaviest rainfall has fallen on the southwestern slopes of both islands, especially the South Island. The storm is expected to continue through Thursday evening, which means even more snow to delight the ski resorts. However, there is the flip side of the coin: significant avalanche danger. Due to this, the resort at Mount Hutt in the Canterbury region has had to close for the day. Snowfall is expected to continue for a week as a low-pressure system is stuck in the area. The mountain tops are covered in more than a meter layer of snow. All ski resorts are eagerly awaiting skiers and snowboarders, but safety is a priority and safety work is actively underway. New York. A construction crane carrying a 16-ton load of concrete collapsed onto a skyscraper this morning in New York City. A fire broke out in the operator's cabin, and the crane's boom struck the skyscraper before collapsing to the ground on a nearby street. 3 victims were taken to the hospital, and the fate of 2 others, including the firefighter, is not reported. It is known that the construction crane belongs to the same company that was involved in a similar tragedy in 2008 in the Upper East Side. Then the owner of the company was charged with manslaughter and other criminal charges, but was acquitted. A crane collapse then killed 2 people. Authorities noted that it could have been much worse, and it was lucky it wasn't a busy time of day. Siberia. Heavy rains with hail covered Siberia on Monday night, exceeding half of the monthly norm in 24 hours. The downpour was literally a wall, drowned some neighborhoods of Kyzyl, Novosibirsk, Barnaul. The cyclone began to affect the weather in the region last week, but for a long time to the east it was prevented by a vast anticyclone. Now the zone of increased pressure is weakening, and this allowed the vortex to move eastward. Today its cloud fields will stretch from Taimyr to the southern tip of Baikal. Heavy rains are expected in the far north. Arkhangelsk. As a result of an accidental collision of tankers on the Lena River in the Irkutsk region, a fuel spill occurred, which caused damage to the aquatic environment and coastal areas. necessary measures were taken to restore the water area and coastal zones. However, no sooner had they recovered from this disaster than another oil spill occurred on the northern Vina River. Inspectors of Rosprirodnadzor and specialists of the Center for Laboratory Analysis and Technical Measurements are trying to establish the exact amount of pollution and predict the damage caused. The head of Rosprirodnadzor has taken the issue under control, and after assessing the damage caused, measures will be taken to eliminate dangerous consequences. Obviously, such disasters can occur due to human error, as it was the case with the drunken captain of the ship. All safety measures must be observed and such situations must be avoided in order to preserve nature and human life. Algeria. As a result of forest fires in the mountainous regions of Bijaya and Bouera in Algeria, 25 people, including 10 soldiers, have died. 2,000 people were evacuated from the nearby area, while about 7,000 firefighters tried to control the flames. The fire broke out amid a heat wave spreading across North Africa and southern Europe. Algeria's Interior Ministry said firefighting operations were underway in 6 provinces of the country. Our planet. A study by the Zurich Graduate School of Technology has revealed that the world will face more intense periods of abnormal heat in the coming decades. A participant in the study, Eric Fisher, said that we need to prepare for more record-breaking heat peaks that will far surpass previous temperature records. Record heat waves could occur 2 to 7 times more often in the 2021-2050s, and 3 to 21 times more often in the 2051-2080s. This means we need to take steps to protect ourselves from heat waves and stay healthy. In addition, the planet is now warming by 0.18 degrees Celsius per decade faster than in the previous 40 years. This can have serious consequences for the environment and human health. It is therefore necessary to take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and utilize renewable energy sources. It is also important to monitor your health during heat waves and take measures to protect yourself from high temperatures. We must be prepared for climate change and take action to preserve our planet and human health.